So I've spent a decent amount of hours in games like Fortnite, PUBG, and even a little bit of Radical Heights before Boss Key went under. With that said, I feel like I have a decent amount of experience in games like this, and I enjoy them quite a bit, so I was excited to try Call of Duty's take on the genre called Blackout. Yes, it was only a matter of time for the other big publishers to jump on the gravy train that Epic Games hijacked at pickaxe point from PUBG Corporation. After all, Fortnite has made an absurd amount of money this year, and it's not showing too many signs of stopping, so who wouldn't want to get in on this? So Blackout itself falls more on the side of the PUBG than Fortnite. For those that don't play either, PUBG focuses more on loadouts and inventory, while Fortnite has less focus on the loadout and more emphasis on building structures. Granted, having a good gun is still important in Fortnite, but the best gun in the game isn't going to save you from someone who can build really well. Games like Blackout are much more focused on getting your hands on the best gear possible, as it is imperative to your survival. So we start out on the main menu, and I'll note that it is pretty cool that you get so many options for avatars in this game right off the bat. I like being able to use the hazmat suit guy from the multiplayer. He just looks so cool. Then, like any other battle royale game, you're dropped into a waiting zone where you get to play around while the game assembles all 88 players for a match. Yes, we have 88 here instead of 100, and there's definitely a reason for that, which I will touch on a bit later. So we loaded into the match, and I noticed that we're all dropping out of smaller helicopters instead of one single battle bus or a carrier. Another thing that's different is that Blackout gives you way less time to prepare before getting the option to drop. Pretty much the minute the match loads in, you can drop. I decided to go for a spot pretty far from the center so I could look around a bit before getting into a fight. I landed at a dam and started looking around. Your average battle royale stuff was scattered all about, med packs, guns, attachments, etc., so I started building my loadout. As per usual with me, I dropped pretty far from the circle, and since it is more like PUBG than Fortnite, it is pretty hard to walk all the way and make it in time. Luckily, the game has a decent amount of vehicles laying around for you to get around faster. Eventually, I came across my first opponent and died like the trash I am. And I don't think he had battle armor on, and I did. I will note one thing here that a friend mentioned to me before I started playing though. Something feels kind of off about the weapon mechanics. It feels like some of these weapons have range that they really shouldn't have. Granted, some of these are just carryover problems from the multiplayer, but becomes a whole different level of frustrating when these issues come up in a battle royale setting. When a shotgun can take out most of your health bar from across a room and through a window, it makes a lot of the other rapid fire weapons seem like a waste of inventory space. I know I started to feel that way, especially when I found myself doing better in matches where I had a shotgun. Also, this isn't an exclusive trait to COD either. Fortnite has had similar issues with its shotguns as well, so it's clearly something that these devs are actively trying to tweak. Also, this is a demo, so I'm sure Treyarch is trying to tweak this before launch anyway. Probably already have, because usually these demos are just older builds of the game anyway. So I dropped in for my second match and made sure to go somewhere different to check out the different parts of the map. As a follow-up to my last beta break about this game, remember when I was talking about how the performance during Blackout was probably the reason for the slight graphics downgrade on consoles? I think I got my answer. Blackout struggles on my PC at 2K max settings. For context, I have an i7-4790K and a GTX 1080, so my rig is capable of handling most games. So my point here is, if my rig is having trouble running this game mode, then how do you think the consoles fare? That's what I thought. After landing, I made my way back towards the dam that I'd landed in the previous match and saw this red beacon over a hill. Curious, I went towards it and found... what the hell? You're seeing this right, an alien monster is attacking another player. After dispatching the player, because this is still Battle Royale, I shifted my focus to the monster and found myself pumping lots of rounds into it to little effect. Realizing that it's either invincible or very hard to kill, I ran for a nearby ATV and... For anyone playing this, just don't bother with these things. The last match that I wanted to talk about involved me finding one of the truly unique things about Blackout: the use of a helicopter. After making my way to the top of a building onto a helipad, I boarded the helicopter and took off towards a lighthouse in the distance. While it was kind of dumb to be using this as a solo player, as the pilot doesn't get any weaponry, this was still pretty fun. The helicopter controls well and it isn't super hard to land. I didn't try just jumping out mid-air though, but I imagine your wingsuit kicks in? Maybe? Hopefully. Because I was so far away from everyone at this point, I was able to get my hands on a rare weapon, and a suspicion of mine was confirmed. The rare weapons do kill quite a bit faster than the normal ones laying on the ground. I know I should be expecting that, but I guess COD has just sort of conditioned me to not look at their weapons in that way until now. I suppose it's fine, but it did seem kind of odd. With these weapons, I got the closest that I got to winning all day, which was 3rd place. Honestly, I'll take it. I tried a bit of squad mode, which was pretty fun too. Definitely felt more PUBG than Fortnite, as the team actually has an interest in sticking together and trying to help one another. I definitely could see myself playing this with a couple of friends. Overall, I thought the Blackout demo was okay. It's not mind-blowing by any means, but it was fun. The mode needs some tweaks, and a performance patch would be appreciated if possible, but to me, this seems like PUBG with just a lot more polish. For those of you getting frustrated with PUBG Corp, you may want to give this game a look. For me though, I'll probably stick more to the standard multiplayer, and with that, this beta break is over.